Good morning. Here is the seed of the world if you wish to use this as well. Today, we're gonna build a house. Pretty excited. It's gonna be in creative mode, I'm sorry to tell you. But we use a lot of cool dark colors and copper and all that sorts of stuff. Also, I found this Y-shaped ravine. I've never seen this before. I think it's really cool. I'm curious if any of you have. The world is going, why? Not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty unprepared at the moment. I don't have my earbuds. I don't know where they are. But I like to hide under like 3 blankets and just hold that microphone thing and go, wah, and I don't know where it is. So I'm just big chillin'. And it's strange. But I ended up changing the floor and the ceiling a lot because I just could not agree on what to do. But eventually I figured it out. Thank goodness. I already recorded the voiceover for this, but I was doing dishes. I was doing dishes, and I made tea because my throat was so sore, and it still is a bit. I've been fighting. I've been having visions, but no. But I'm killing it. Not really, but that's okay. Ooh, yes. Okay, so see this drawing in the corner? This is me making the thumbnail for this video. Do you see how slanted it is? That's so funny. It's so slanted. This drawing took me hours, literal hours. I haven't worked this long on a freaking Ibis Paint on my phone digital drawing in a hot minute. And it kind of looks like trash, but you know what? Trash is valuable because recycling. And also evidence and residue of human life. And you can learn a lot from that. So we're gonna keep going with it. At first, I was gonna keep all these trees, right? And I was like, ooh, yeah. But I adjusted the execution of the vision. And you're gonna see why. I was gonna do like a wood wall moment, you know what I mean? You know how like in those older houses, like the aesthetic from, I don't even know what time period, 80s, 90s, the wood panel walls. Practically everyone I've ever met in my life is like, that's so ugly, it's so ew, it's so ugly. Honestly, I really like that. I would love to have a room like that. Are you kidding me? But every person I've told that to, they're like, it's so ugly, you're so ugly. Like, okay. I get it. I get the message, but I don't care. So, deal with it. But, yeah, I ended up getting rid of the trees. I really like using blackstone with copper. I think it pops, but not the kind of the copper that like turns blue over time. That's not what I'm going for. I use the blue stone a lot too with these two thingies. I forget what it's called. Aqua prismine something Prismacolor colored pencils. I don't know, but yes, this is a progress shot. I was like, ooh, what if we had a copper sunroom? I think that would be so cool. And I went for it, and I'm pretty happy about it. But see that floor? That floor is not it. So I tried something different. And I was like, dang, I don't think this floor is it either. But it's okay. I'm going to fix it soon. I have a funny story that you might find funny or not. I don't know. But without giving details on like where I work, because believe it or not, I work, yay, I was walking with a pallet jack and someone else was heading towards me. Like, relaxed. In a relaxed manner, not like violently. But they were just walking down in my direction. And I'd be wrecking them pallet jacks, I'm not gonna lie. I always ram them into things. But don't worry, I don't break anything. But I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hit them. And I tried to turn away from them to ensure their safety. But in doing so, I was just so heroic. And I rammed my ankle. and then it's hard to describe what happened. Because it was just so traumatic. I blacked out. Just kidding. No, but like... my ankle got caught on the pallet. And I tried to get my ankle out of the pallet. I no-clipped into the dang pallet. Right? And I just kind of like repeatedly tripped without falling. And it was like a CD skipping. And it was really funny. And it was funny because I kept not falling whilst tripping. It was so weird. I couldn't like no clip out of the dang pallet. And they were like trying to help me and it wasn't working. So I just kept going, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I successfully hit V. Is that the key for Gmod to clip and no clip? I don't know, but I did that and I was free from the pallet and I walked away really fast because I was really embarrassed. I don't know how someone can trip repeatedly without falling, but I've learned it. I've experienced it. It's really something else. So, if you learn anything, don't just ram your ankles into a dang pallet or a jack. That hurts really bad. My next funny account. By the way, all of the last one and this one happened within the span of 2 weeks, or at least 3 weeks. So keep that in mind in your heart, okay? In your higher self's essence. I was big chillin' in the big city, and this very sweet old elderly person comes up to me and goes, "Hey, do you guys sell this?" And slowly she pulled out a Wii remote. A Wii remote. White, jaded, scuffed up. Okay, it had lived a life. It had had loves and heartbreak and anguish and dreams seen. And I, with my heart swelling, not from like, diseases, but from emotion, I said, "No." And she said, "Okay." And in the very same day, literally the same day, I got a phone call. And the person asked, not the same person, different person, asked, "Do you sell PS2s?" And I said, "No, but we do sell the 5th one." And she was like, Isn't that funny? That's so funny. And now everyone right now watching this is going, "Wow, that was so funny. I can't believe how funny that was." Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. The the last thing you'd want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. But as it turns out, that might be what you get. An anonymous 4chaner. That's all I remember. I'm sorry. Ooh. Okay, so, so do you ever get, like, hyper aware of yourself, and then it completely changes how you act for the rest of your life? I do. Too much. A really big example of that is I used to ramble about things I was obsessed with, right? Like, I get obsessed with something, and, like, that's on my mind for years. It's kind of a problem. However, I used to openly discuss these obsessions for years. For a very long time, every day, all day. And I had a moment of hyper self-awareness, and those are always agonizing. And I was like, oh no. And now I don't do that anymore, at least I don't think I do. But it's just interesting how, like, a lot of immense, newly found freaking self-awareness, it doesn't, like, at least for me, I'm not like, wow, I understand myself in a deeper way. Heck yeah. For me, it's like, oh, another reason I don't like myself. Oh, yeah. And I realized I was doing that, and I was like, oh, well, I must never, ever, ever in my life do this again. And it's weird. It's very weird. Let me know if you do that. I think that'd be funny. Well, no, that wouldn't be funny, actually. But you know what I mean. Like, it would be cool to see, like, if y'all do that stuff, too. I don't know. I think it would be nice to get to, know yourself in much deeper ways and not instantly come to the conclusion that, like, oh, wow, you're more atrocious than I thought, It would be nice to learn about yourself and then be like, huh, sweet. I think I just said that, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Deep ramble has commenced. Don't know what commenced means. I used to, but I forget. So I'm gonna have to look that up, or go to a library and sit there for 7 hours and go to the librarian and go, hey, do you have a dictionary with the word commence in it? And they'll go look. And I'll be like, okay, walk a foot, spin around dramatically, look back at them. Hey, do you have a dictionary that has the word commence in it? And then they kick me out, and they trespass me. And then I'm not allowed to go back for at least a year. But I go back anyway, and then they pummel me. They absolutely pummel me. And I get pretty banged up in that. And then I go to the doctor, and they tell me, ew, you're ugly. And I go, yeah, but like, oh well. And they go, self-acceptance, cool. And then in 5 years later, I start a podcast, and that's all I talk about is that moment in life, and I say, wow, that really changed me. If there's anyone watching this, they just laughed, but not in like an actual laugh. You know when like people go with their nose, like they laugh out their nose? Not that their nose is going, ha, 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 but the air is, you know. That's what happened. Visions. I will say, if you want your builds to be bussin', I would say allow your builds to have a sense of symmetry, but also deny that symmetry. Like, see how from one perspective this is symmetrical, right? You got the empty bookshelves on both sides in the same shape, right? You got the copper going on, but it's a little off because there's glass on one side and then that copper sunroom balcony bullcrap going on the other. Also, I think the lanterns are not symmetrical. Yeah, I don't think that's symmetrical. Yeah, that's not symmetrical because the copper goes out to the left farther than it does on the right. And you can see me noticing this in real time in this footage. I'm like, wait a minute. But, oh well, so what? Gotta get our enchantments going. Do you recognize this? Hold on. Just wait like a few seconds. It's gonna be crazy. Boom. The reference shot for the freaking thumbnail. Oh yeah. See how not slanted this is? And how slanted my piece was? That's crazy. That's insane. Truly diabolical. But I ended up building a treehouse part and a basement, and neither of those filmed. So I deleted the whole house. Just kidding. No, we're gonna do the reveal of it finished. See? So if you were getting bored, here you go. So I'm gonna spin around in circles for a little bit. As you can see, I added furniture and decoration, which you can't really see from the outside, but you will in just a moment. You can see some amethyst popping through the copper. I'm pretty happy with it. There's a porch and some staircases. So, as you can see, I added a log. Very, very advanced. Boom, here is the entrance to the basement. Nice paintings. Nice paintings. I think this big painting right here is probably my top three favorite paintings in this game. I do want to do it in real life. I've done the sunset painting in real life on my art channel. I'll put a link. I love, and not to be rude in any way, but I love how even in the year of our Lord 2025, people say, the link in the description. Of course it's going to be in the description. Where else is it going to be? There is only the description. Unless there's comment section? Whoa. Section. But at the same time, you got to be careful of scammers. Because then there's all these scammers that will pose as YouTubers and be like, click my bio, please. And people will go, okay. And they do it. And then they perish. Just kidding, they don't perish. But, sorry, if you happen to do that, I do not mean any disrespect or to be rude. Honestly, I find it kind of, endearing. But it is funny. Because, where else is the link going to be? Here's the view of the window in the kitchen. Here you get to understand what it's like to be a candle. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. I planted wheat because I'm basic. There is a chance that my name means wheat in Welsh, but I also don't know if that's just a Google Translate error. Oh well. So here's the room finished and decorated with the crystals and all that stuff. That big painting might be my current favorite at the moment. I discovered it on accident. I didn't know it was added, and it took my breath away, straight up. I sat there for a minute after I placed it on that wall, and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Very profound. But here's the bedroom. So we have this elegant decorated house, and the bedroom is in the bushes. That's okay. And then here's our pondering room, where you can ponder about life, yourself, the universe, consciousness, time. You can sit there and be like, why did I have a dream that ended up happening exactly how I dreamed it? Uh-oh. But yes, now we're gonna spin some more. Ay, get it, yeah. Ay, get it, ay, get it, yeah. And now I'm gonna go roam as a roaming consciousness, a cave-dwelling energy, or whatever. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for being here. If you made it this long, that's really impressive. And I hope you enjoy your day. And if you're feeling bad, I hope you feel better very soon. In like 2.5 seconds. Bye.